What up, y'all? It's your boy OSGOE. We're gonna have a candid conversation about Sen the Soul Stealer, aka Sen. So check it out. My homeboy who I grew up with, his name is Sen. He's a producer, rapper, musical artist, musician, brilliant mastermind, performer, lyrical genius. And this is all true. This is not embellished. I don't fuck with Jakes, dude, or Marks or Busters or Jake ass, Buster ass, Mark ass lames. I really don't. You should already know by now, man. We've been in this for a quarter of a century and then some. I only work with talented folks. You understand what I'm saying? Big Scheme, Mr. Broccoli. Let me talk about Mr. Broccoli for a minute, even though I'm talking about Sen. Mr. Broccoli is a talented dude. Brock Lelanders is my dude too. All of my guys are on par, man. We're like the Expendables of the movie. You understand what I'm saying? Like, everybody is talented and has a talent and is lyrically gifted in his or her own way. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like the hype man, kind of like Flavor Flav a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the hype dude that does like the crowd mover shit. That's just kind of like, yeah, and I'm drunk and shit. Like, dude, I stays intoxicated. You know what I'm saying? I'm that dude, kind of like Flavor Flav. You know what I'm saying? And I just fucking get the crowd going like, yeah, pump your fist in the air. And I'm like, yeah, level 4, L4, 495. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing. Like, I don't have to be too lyrical, man. I leave that up to like Mr. Broccoli Landers and saying, you know what I'm saying? So here's the deal. Seoul, South Korea. I've been peeping Dumbfound Dead. Dumbfound Dead is dope, dude. Doki. You know what I'm saying? Some cats don't even understand, man. So I'm actually giving props, dude, to dudes that are doing shit. You know what I'm saying? Big time shit. Like, people don't even know. And so we're going to South Korea, dude, if you didn't know that. And my boy, in other words, my older Korean bro, you know what I'm saying? He's from Seoul, South Korea, and he's been back and forth, and he's the one that taught me the ropes. And I was also a Korean school teacher. I taught in a Korean private school for 10 years off and on, while I also simultaneously worked as a U.S. government defense contractor. Just a little bit more of my backstory. My dad, that is my father, my dad, he was stationed in Seoul, South Korea. So just let me put you up on a little bit of Korean intel here, dude. Okay, so like my friends from South Korea, dude, in terms of like living in South Korea, if you don't know this, traditionally, historically, it has been compulsory in that if someone is born in Seoul, South Korea and is a male of a certain age, it is required that he join the military. And that's just the bottom fucking line. Similar to how it had been in China. So military service is not a question. Once you reach a certain age, if you're able-bodied, you will be in the military in South Korea. A lot of Koreans that I know, because of tradition and history, based on that Confucius system going back to ancient China, though South Korea has its own identity and its own self-identity and its own character, nonetheless, South Korea, China, Japan, whether there are some rivalries to date and in the past and whatnot, there are still, nonetheless, regardless of what some folks may argue to the contrary, there are similarities. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but I was actually in a cybersecurity program. And as part of the cybersecurity program that I was in, my minor, that was my major, at one of the universities that I attended, one of the many multiple universities that I attended, one of the programs that I was in was Asian Studies. I'm not a master of Asian Studies. I'm not a professor of Asian Studies. I'm not an expert per se. I mean, I could be a subject matter expert in some area of some subset of Asian Studies, but I'm not a professor of Asian Studies per se. And I'm not a master of Asian Studies, but I had studied for a minor in Asian Studies. So I've read extensively books on the subject of Asian Studies. A lot of niggas, man, just be wilding out. They be talking about, yeah, I'm going to go to school and get a business degree. I'm going to work on business. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to study and get my cosmetology degree and blah, 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 blah. To each his, her own. Cool. I know niggas that was like serving work, like wait, like out on the block, like powder, snow, ski, you know what I'm saying? Like ski slope, you know, up, down, you know what I'm saying? Roller coaster ride, carousel, music, whatever. I'm not, you know, joshing. I'm just saying, like, for real, like niggas that I know, man, some niggas was like, you know, man, I'm selling dope. Like, I'm the ice cream man. I'm selling ice, nigga, ice cream, and I'm fucking moving, you know what I'm saying? Moving out here, doing these moves, maneuvering and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? And I'm making these moves out here. Let your next move be your best move kind of thing. You feel me? Pimping, whatever, selling guns, weapons, illicit business, you know, illustrious niggas. But, you know, some of them were like, yo, this is a dead end shit. Like, fuck this. It's limited in the calculus of it all. Like, I know cats that were hella gifted, man, and still are. And they decided among themselves or to themselves individually, respectively, they're like, you know what, man? Like, I know how society views me. Society views me as a drug dealer. Like, I'm just full disclosure, dude. I sold drugs. I was a drug dealer. Like, fuck it. Like, America sells drugs, like pharmaceuticals and like weed and OxyContin and meth and opioids and, ice and, meth, meth and mescaline and peyote, whatever, man, you name it. LSD, acid, fucking, just drugs, dog, like ecstasy and whatever, right? MDMA. So people sell dope. And then some people are like, you know what? Society views me as a drug dealer, like a dead end motherfucker, like I'm a loser, like I ain't shit. Like they look at me like I'm ostracized, like I'm alienated from like the tribe of like humanity and society. And they be like, man, fuck me. Like I'm a Jake and I'm weak and I'm hella stupid and I ain't got no gusto. And man, I'm unscrupulous, dude. I'm unruly. I'm just saying that's how some in society view me. Other niggas be like, and at the same time, them same niggas is what I meant to say. They be like, but what they don't know is that I used to be in a gifted, track, like on a pathway is what I mean to say. Like I was on this pathway, like I was going to school, I was doing good things, you know what I'm saying? Some niggas was never doing good things, but some niggas was doing good things. And some niggas had been in like advanced programs, you know what I'm saying, gifted and shit, even if they come from like low income communities. Like my homeboy, one of the most gifted, like brilliant, like most genius individuals I know, he actually comes from low income. You know what I'm saying? Like me. And I give it to him, dude. He knew chemical compositions like when he was like born. You know what I'm saying? You know all those cats, like them kids that they're just bored and they're just born and bored and they're prodigies. Some of them aren't bored, but some of them are born and or bored and they just know shit because like through the fetus, you know what I'm saying? In vitrio or whatever, they just vitrio, they just whatever Latin shit, they just like, DNA transference of fucking data, like mind to mind, like human transference and shit. They just know shit. So like he knew shit about chemical compositions and like formulas and stuff. And when he was like 3 years old, they had him in a room in a laboratory, like investigative, like setting for like clinical, like information. And they were like research and they were like, yo, what is this chart? And he was like, oh, that's the chemical composition for ammonia. They were like, excellent, magnificent. You know what I'm saying? Just some remarkable shit. Just niggas that just man, motherfuckers that's just on the spec. They just know shit. So I know that sounds a little out there. And I know that it's a little, a little much for motherfuckers to chew on and a little hard pill to swallow. But the reality is that some cats are just born gifted. You know what I'm saying? And so my point is, man, is that I know dudes that were like honor roll students, played sports. They were gifted in their own different kind of sort of ways. They had, maybe all of us, we have intellectual like hang-ups and like drawbacks and setbacks and hoops to jump through and like motions to go through and this and that. But like motherfuckers that I know, a lot of cats that I know, dude, they've been G, as in gifted since fucking day one. And so, like, I had a circle, man, of friends, colleagues, like childhood friends that were, like, very fucking talented, dude, like, super fucking smart since day uno. And when you're in that setting, that environment, when you're from that, right, you learn a certain protocol, like, at a young age. Like, it's very precocious. Like, you become precocious, you are precocious, and you, like, learn how the world works. And you can see hierarchies and frameworks and diagrams and blueprints and schematics, as I often say, right? Maps, charts, graphs, diagrams. That's one of my courses. And so you see like the underpinnings of reality, kind of like the real world matrix without actually seeing the matrix, but kind of seeing it like subconsciously without actually seeing like some streaming data like the matrix and shit. And then you hear about cats like Daniel Tammet, who actually sees because he's a synesthete. He actually synesthete. He actually sees the actual matrix. Like, I'm just saying, like some cats are savant level like that, like master savant level like that. And then you got cats that see shit like that and they've been able to see shit like that forever and always since forever. I try not to like be cliche and like redundant, but I also, use and sometimes overuse for effect different expressions. But, some niggas had that ability and like gift, those abilities and gifts since like day one. And so the point is, as someone who's been a school teacher, English, math, science, and other, I taught K through 12, some undergraduate and some graduate students, college, graduate, university, you know what I'm saying, pay niggas. No, I'm saying some undergraduate students, some college graduate students, both, man, K through 12, high school, college, and then graduate level. I've had students, man, from all levels. You have some people, man, who have those gifts, those abilities, and they hide it from society because they don't want you to know what they know, because they figure if you know what they know, if you know what they know is what I meant, you might think of them a certain kind of sort of fucking way. And I say that in the colloquial kind of sort of fucking different kind of sort of fucking way. And then, so like, if you want a reference point for that, if you listen to Michio Kaku, Professor Michio Kaku, if you listen to Michio Kaku, and I hold him in very high regard, as well as Ron Millett from University of Connecticut, UConn. If you listen to, and by the way, shout outs to Kramer at University of Washington, where I was tested for the gifted program when I was like 4 years old in 1979. When you listen to these cats who are working on time travel and whatnot, I'm not saying that Michio Kaku is, but Michio Kaku actually absolutely talks about time travel and hyperspace. And that's how I found out about hyperspace. That's how I found out, actually, I mean, it wasn't exactly from him, but I found out more about hyperspace than I had known previously. When you listen to these luminaries, these folks, these individuals that are prestigious and they're highly informed, when you listen to what they say, what they profess, what they talk about, what they convey, what they communicate, it becomes, quite apparent that even in the statements, the remarkable statements, in other words, the remarks of individuals such as Michio Kaku, right? If you do research and you're not just listening to Britney Spears fucking videos all day long, right? Or whoever, right? Even professors such as Michio Kaku, as distinguished as he is, he says at some point, he talks about and I'm kind of leading up to it, building up to it without just saying it outright, but I'm going to say it out right now because it was all for suspense and build up up to this point. He says something that kind of weirded me out for a minute, kind of fucked me up, dude, a little bit. Physics, dude, quantum entanglement, I'm not going to go off on a tangent. I'm just going to say, without any further delay, there are people who understand certain things about deeper truth reality. They've learned certain things that are so fucking just out of this world, just unbelievably fucking bizarre, but real. That if they were approached by the US Gov, Shadow Gov, and they're like, oh, hey, we just wanted to ask you a question. What is your opinion about this? They're like, I have none. I'm like, well, wait, how about you said that? No, I have none. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, but isn't it true that you said this and then this leads us to believe that you would know that this is true? And no, I don't know if that's true or not, and I have no idea, no comment. But your paperwork and your theses and your thesis and your multiple theses, and which means theses in Latin, you've written your writings, your works, your body of information suggests that you would mathematically, scientifically have to know that these things are true. And they're like, no comment. I have no position. I can neither confirm nor deny. I don't know what you're talking about. They're like, we think you're lying to us. And they're like, plead the fifth. Okay. Fifth Amendment. Because, dude, they know some shit that they don't want to talk about because they figured out some fucking shit. Now, is it dark? I wouldn't say that. But it is maybe not, or could be construed as depends on how you. It's kind of like cryptos, dude. It's the angle at which you view the data. It's the parallax view of it all. Okay, so the reality, man, is that if you come from the hood and you're gifted and talented and you know the shit that we know, you're looking at the universe, dude, from a parallax fucking view. You're seeing shit, dude, in a really interesting fucking way. And you see cats who struggle. You see cats who don't struggle. You see all kinds of different angles and vantage points. And I'm drinking a 40 right now, by the way. And by the way, thank you for sponsoring us, Miller Genuine Draft. When we hit number 5 in the United States on mp3.com, shout outs to J. Walter Thompson, advertising marketing arm branch of Miller Genuine Draft. That's what I'm sipping on right now. As a Miller, it happens to be a High Life. Nonetheless, it's still Miller Genuine Draft. It's not exactly 100% gold, but it's fucking a High Life. So Anyway, 40, bottle, 40 ounce. Shout outs to Miller Genuine Draft. Thank you for sponsoring, 495 back in the day. AO, ANN Records, Aeon. So the reality is that you have this type of situation and there's a lot of information involved. And you have these people in academia. You have these cats that grew up in neighborhoods and they just know some shit. So then they're like, I know I'm in a gang and I know what I'm doing is fucking wrong. It's just morally immoral. It's amoral. It's fucking wrong. And I'm a bit uncouth in terms of like being like in circles of influence and, having any type of like political clout, being distinguished or like held in high regard. Like some people respect my talents and whatnot on certain levels, but by the same token, I have no real like political clout. I'm not saying me or any of my associates or colleagues, but I'm saying like there are people, dude, that are fucking smart as fuck, dude. They're hella smart and they know ancient fucking secrets about like deeper reality, right? Some of them come forward with their information, with their talents. Some of them don't. I'll give you another example. Have you ever seen the movie Phenomenon with starring, that is, John Travolta? If you haven't seen Phenomenon, don't fucking, I'm looking around, counter surveillance. Don't wiki it. Just watch it. Have you ever seen the movie K-Pax? That's K as in kilo dash. That's hyphen P, Papa, Alpha, X-ray, K dash Pax, K-Pax. Have you ever seen that movie? Don't wiki anything about it. Just watch it. Okay? So, I'm not even going to do a spoiler alert or a spoiler. I almost did. But here's the deal. Michio Kaku said some shit that was very haunting. And it's very indelible in my mind. It's imprinted. It's in my long-term memory. LTM. As a por favor, senor. As opposed to, is what I meant to say. STM, short-term memory. It's imprinted in my memory, dude. And as prodigious as I have been, dude, and as scholarly as I have been, and playing by the rules of academia and doing everything in a stringent, that is rigorous, because it's all, manner, that is rigor, especially mathematics with my homeboy, Jay. I won't, mention his, like, additional information, but my homeboy, Jay, when he introduced me to the field of mathematics and he asked that I get involved and encouraged and basically, like, I wouldn't say forced me, but he persuaded me to get involved in mathematics. I was like, Jay, dude, math, I always kind of lacked in that, and he's like, no, you can do it. You were in electronics engineering, you're very fucking, prodigious, dude. You're a fucking childhood prodigy like me, dude. Just come on, man. Let's just roll with it, dude. Mathematics is kind of a finite field. I mean, it's not, it's infinite, it's infinite, but I'm saying it's finite in the sense that it's kind of lonely. And I'm just saying, no weirdo. Like, he got married, wife, children, and it's nothing about gender or anything. But I'm just saying, back in the day, dude, in the late 1990s, going into the early 2000s, he was my former roommate. He was my roommate at the time and then became former roommate. He's like, I'm in this field of math, dude. I'm about to have my master's degree, dude, at the University of Washington. You were tested for high IQ when you were a kid. Dude, you've been selling fucking drugs out on the block, dog. Like, you're smart. Like, why don't you get out of the fucking gang life, dog, and come and join me in mathematics, motherfucker? And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, dude, just do it. Just take the GRE. Just go and take the graduate record exam. You can do it. I did. I scored higher than the national average and shit. Took the little writing test. Went and took the Foreign Service Officer exam, FSO. You know what I'm saying? Back when it was like handwritten, verses instead of, is what I meant to say, like CBT, computer-based test. I took the ASVAB in Washington, D.C. at the Office of Personnel Management, OPM. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just letting y'all know. It's like, I know niggas out on the block, man, who operate just like me. Niggas who, like, their family members worked at Boeing. They were in the military. They worked in government, like, different agencies and shit. And it's like, man, there's intel everywhere. Cats are born in neighborhoods, man, and they're impoverished. And I'm not even from an impoverished neighborhood. I'm giving props and shout outs to cats that, like, grew up in neighborhoods where they didn't have fucking resources and shit. And they're fucking hella smart, dude. They're like prodigies and shit. And you can actually look at, like, people from, like, Russia, dude, from, like, SVR and, like, KGB and CPB, and the Politburo and GRU, dude. Like, man, intelligence is everywhere, man. Like, niggas, like, are born, dude, just knowing shit sometimes. They don't even need to read books. Like, Edgar Cayce, he was America's sleeping psychic. He just put his hand on a book, go into a trance, and consciously, he had no idea what was going on. But subconsciously, unconsciously, man, he would awaken and they'd be like, yo, you just fucking read every fucking line in this book, dude, without even seeing it. Like, your mind, like, as a human, like, humanoid, like interface, like, you went on some transdimensional, paradimensional, extra dimensional shit. You just put your hand on this book, dude, and you knew every word verbatim in this book. And he knew shit, dude, about like Akashic records and stuff like that. So what I'm saying is this, like, my homeboy, I said my homeboy Sando, my homie Sen, my homie DJ Slow-Mo, my homie Rizzo, my homie Aaron, my homie Scoot, my homie Paxton, my homie Pokey, my homie Spang motherfucking T, my homie Brock Lee Landers, my homie, you know what I'm saying, Tack, my homie Nene, all my homeboys, man, I just go on, there's just endless, just, you know what I'm saying, like, so many friends, man, like, where we were, dude, there's a big emphasis on, like, education, you know what I'm saying, DJ Nanino, you know what I'm saying, like, back in the day, the homeboy, MD 2020, you know what I'm saying, aka MT, the homie another 8-Ball, not the 8-Ball that y'all know, you know what I'm saying, but there was a homeboy in the Northwest, his name was 8-Ball, go now by, or back in the day went by Lou Diamonds, you know what I'm saying, like, man, cats I knew were prodigious, man, the homie DJ Lethal, DJ Lee, the homie, you know what I'm saying, DJ Creed, the homie Casino D, you know what I'm saying, Verse, Omega, I mean, come on, man, I could just keep going, there's so many cats, the homie Arlo, you know what I'm saying, I mean, it's just, man, where I come from, school, it doesn't matter, dude, if you're from the hood, if you're from the PJs, the projects, it doesn't matter where the fuck you're from. The homie Luke, you know what I'm saying? 2 homies named Luke, the homie named Casey, you know what I'm saying? 2 homies named Casey. It's like, man, where I come from, man, it was like a test bed of like some MK Ultra type shit. And I'm just being real. And when I talk about clones, dude, like in my videos and shit, like in my commentary and in these podcasts that I do, I'm not talking about real clones, dude. I'm not fucking schizophrenic, dude. Come on, man. It's not even for really, honestly, entertainment purposes. I'm talking about like cookie cutter fucking cutouts. I'm talking about niggas that just like, you know what I'm saying? They're copycats. They emulate. We were always about, let's make our own shit, because we understand what niggas is emulating. They're mimicking. Okay. We went Cub Scouts. We went Boy Scouts. We went Eagle Scouts. I'm not saying I was, but some nigga was, and then we just synthesize. It's synthesis. Synthesis is the highest level of intelligence, if y'all niggas don't know. Just putting that out there. It's called synthesis. When you look at Intel and like psychology tests, when you look at psychology like tests and shit, the highest level that you can achieve, it is called synthesis. Okay? Just FYI. It's called synthesis. So if you're taking a high IQ test, if you're taking an IQ test, right, the highest level that you can actually achieve is something known as synthesis. When you're looking at savants, when you're looking at geniuses, when you're looking at prodigies, when you're looking at people that are fucking super ultra highly fucking gifted, who are remarkable and fucking fabulous in what it is that they do with their human minds, like Ingo Swann and Russell Targ and Joseph McMoneagle and all of the other like remote viewers and psychics and psychic warfighters and whatnot, and all the names not mentioned, right? Nikola Tesla. When you're looking at Einstein, when you're looking at like people like Hugh Everett III, when you're looking at like Al Bielek, right? I know there are a lot of disinformation agents out there. They were crazy. They were stupid. It's all made up. They just, Preston Nichols, they're just rejects. They're liars. Bob Lazar, he's a fraud. They're all fraud. They're all stupid. They're all cockamamie. Like, cuckoo, Popeye, they're, cockeyed, like, out, they're just out the hornswoggle, and they're out to bamboozle and finesse, and they're just liars, they're all fraud, and just, it's all crazy, they're all lunatics, maniacs, schizophrenics, taking meds, people like that, dude. Hey, the people that are the naysayers, it's really fucking funny that they would, like, insinuate some shit like that. I've already taken y'all so deep down multiple multi-dimensional rabbit holes that are infinite. There isn't just but one. There isn't but one. And I'm talking about the movie The One. There isn't but one fucking universe. There are multiple. And there ain't just one motherfucking rabbit hole. Y'all, there are multiple. Once you go down one rabbit hole, man, there's another and multiple other rabbit fucking holes. And it's endless and it never ends. And it's multi-dimensional. And y'all should know that shit by now. So check in. I'm talking about, South Korea now is the world's most technologically advanced country on the planet. And that's really interesting. You got to give it to South Korea. Japan had been, and it goes back and forth. Lately, it's been South Korea. Props to Japan, props to South Korea, props to China, props to Indonesia, props to Australia, props to African countries, props to the continent of Africa, props to New Zealand, props to Canada. Canada's silent as a motherfucker, man. Their security, intelligence infrastructure, man, the Canadian Security Establishment, CSE, and the Canadian Security Intelligence Service, CSIS, and British Intelligence, man, Secret Intelligence Service, SIS, and MI5, and Canada's Royal Canadian Mounted Police, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, man, and Italy, and their intelligence services, and Norway, and motherfucking Russia with SVR and the K and X and Z directorates and R and S directorates. You know what I'm talking about? Like some Latin, Roman, like Cyrillic shit. Like, like Bosco 100 type shit. Like, man, when you look at some shit like Vlad TV, shout outs to Vlad, shout outs to Bone Thugs and Harmony, shout outs to Eazy-E, shout outs to DJ Academics, man, free my nigga 6ix9ine, fuck Migos, you know what I'm saying? Shout outs to all the OGs, man, the GOATs, you know what I'm talking about? Eminem, my homeboy, you know what I'm saying? LL Cool J, shout outs to all them real niggas, NWA, Dr. Dre, you feel me? Esham, nigga in Detroit, you know, Black Devil and shit, shout outs to my niggas in Chicago, whatever side y'all niggas be on, 6s, 5s, whatever, 7s and 9s, 3, 6, 9, like Nikola Tesla was talking about. I don't even know, man. The foes and shit. Nigga, Four Corner Hustlers, Gangster Disciples, Vice Lords, nigga, whatever. I don't give a fucking shit, man. If y'all niggas is cool with it, nigga, I'm cool with it. You feel me? Shout outs to niggas that be on some intel shit. 5%ers, 6%ers, 1%ers, 7%ers, 3%ers, 5%ers, 2%ers. Okay? Shout outs to niggas. Shout outs to motherfucking America. Shout outs to 3%ers. Shout outs to fucking everyone who's down with America and our allies, NATO and shit. Shout outs to my homies in Russia who are cool with NATO. Shout outs to my niggas in NATO who are cool with Russia. Shout outs to my niggas from Israel who are cool with Palestine. And shout outs to my niggas in Palestine who are cool with my homies, my niggas from fucking Israel. Man, I keep shit on the peace tip. Shout outs to my niggas from Germany and France. Shout outs to my niggas from, fucking Prince Edward Island in Halifax, Nova Scotia in Canada. Back to Canada. And man, let's look at Latin America. Shout outs to my homies from Sao Paulo and fucking Rio. Shout outs to motherfucking Venezuela and Argentina and Bolivia and Belize and the Caribbean. Okay? Shout outs to my niggas from Haiti. Shout outs to my niggas from all around the goddamn fucking world and the universe and the multiverse. I'm just saying, man, there's a lot of information to fuck with. If I think of some other shit, man, I'll just bring that shit up. You know? Shout outs to my niggas in Northern Europe, man. Reykjavik, Iceland and shit. Shout outs to Bjork. Man, that video, man, Army of Me is the shit. I love that. And I'm drinking on this 40. Now, peep gang. Shout outs to Yo MTV fucking raps. Fab Five Freddy. Nigga, shout outs to old school shit. Shout outs to my niggas. R.I.P. Corey Beaudry, Little Man, Pete Snow. You know what I'm saying? And Jesse Quincy poured out a little liquor right now. Shout outs to all the homies that are falling. And anyone who I missed. And I mean that sincerely. You feel me? Shout outs to the homie Solo. R.I.P. Big homie Solo. Five-Eye Movie. R.I.P. Big homie. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm just keeping it fucking real, though. So much intel, so much information, man. You can go from, like, the streets to, like, command level to in between to up, down, up. You know, man, there's a lot of information out here, man, floating around in the ether sphere, okay, in the ecosystem. And it's not just digital and analog, man. It's on other levels, other periodic tables of fucking rhyme space. You heard, okay? Even though Jay-Z knows that we were number 5 in America, man, with that MP3.com song called Deep in Ever One, and he saw the homie Young Chili YC1. Shout outs to YC1 and all them Crip niggas that we allied with, though. You understand? Shout out to all my Bloods niggas. Shout out to all them folks niggas. Shout outs to all them Vice Lords niggas that let me kick it and fucking bick it out there on the west side of Chicago. Shout outs to all my niggas on the south side of Chicago, GDs and folks. Shout outs to all my homies that are Norteños and Serranos, Blues and Reds. Shout outs to everybody, the Drifters. Shout outs to Flipside Posse, man. Come on, man, stop it. So look. Shh. Come on, man, look, for real. I'm at 30 minutes and I've given props to hella cats. You understand, man? I got this podcast thing popping, man. This shit is cracking. This shit is bracking off. I mean, man, I'm not trying to leave anybody out. I'm trying to include everyone, man. This is a global family, man. We on a mission, man. Shout outs to China, man. You know? And shout outs to Taiwan and shit. You know what I'm saying? China and Taiwan, you know, gotta work it out. Work it out. Work it out. Shout outs to India. Shout outs to Pakistan. I used to work for a Pakistani family, man. For real. They treated me very well. Shit was cool, man. Paid me very well. Shit was very cool. Understand? Dude who took care of me at the time, man, is my G, man. It's my homie. You know what I'm saying? I mean, fucking love, dog. Like, love shit. Like, niggas, like, man, that's the thing that cats don't really fucking comprehend. They just be about war. I be about peace. And I understand when diplomacy fails, man, niggas gotta resort to war. You know, I mean, fuck, dude. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at this data construct. I'm looking at this little thing right here. Let me light this up. Let me bleezy it up. Hold up. You know what I want to talk about right now? I want to talk about, man, how, like, back when I was in my first few years of college, right? I was in the Pacific Northwest. A lot of different gangs. Just like California. Just like Snoop Dogg in Long Beach. Just like Crenshaw niggas. Just like Hoover niggas. Just like every gang. Just like Elm Street, Piru, Treetop, Fruit Town. You know what I'm saying? Just like SD niggas, you know. San Diego, shout outs to San Diego, shout outs to the Bay Area, shout outs to my niggas from Hayward, where I used to live, shout outs to my niggas from Alameda, Oakland, you know what I'm saying, Bay Area and shit, you know. Man, when I was coming up in the game, man, even though I'm Republican conservative, I was always about like some, you know what I'm saying, some cypher shit, like, just, you know, just like keeping it bull with everyone. I'm not saying bull like, you know, like the market's like, you know, you got a bull market, you know what I'm saying, a bearish market. I'm talking about, you know, just, man, keeping it bull. You feel me? Like on some, just bulling, man. You know, some niggas say cooling. I'm saying bulling. I'm saying like, as a Bloods nigga, street militia shit. I'm like, you know, dude, I'm just going to tell the story, dude, how it was. I'm just going to keep it fucking real. So, man, back in the day, there was a mutual homie. His name is Solo. R.I.P. The homie Solo. I'm just keeping it real, man. I'm just telling it how it is. Back in 1993, before Gangland and these different TV networks, before they advertise on Vice, all this shit, about like Bloods on the East Coast, right? They talked about East Coast Bloods. East Coast Bloods. Like flash forward. Before that is what I meant is what I'm aiming at. Back in the day, man, the homie Solo, R.I.P., man, the homie Solo. We were United Blood Nation. United Bloods Nation. UBN. That's real shit. UBN. They brought me in. 1993 exactly was the year. I was deep in ever, DIE 495. And they came to me, the Samoans, and they said, bro, you a nigga, man. You a real nigga. You 495, man. You deep in Everett. Shout outs to the homie Ryan. Shout outs to the homie Eddie. Shout outs to everyone, man. My homie Turtle. Shout outs to my homie Frog. Shout outs to my homie Dan. Shout outs to everybody. Everyone who's ever been 495 deep in Everett and 495 East Coast to West. Shout outs to the homie Mike C. Shout outs to my K-Town posse. Shout outs to everyone. Shout outs to Carlin and Heidi and Mascaria, who used to be Ms. CZ, Ms. Cockhound. Look, man, back in the day, I'm just keeping it real. I always do. I was a dude who would go between all these different cliques and all these different camps because, man, if you haven't figured it out already, yeah, I'm conservative Republican because that's what I am. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you had seen me, man, and when I was younger, you'd think I was socialist. You know what I'm saying? You just be like, man, this nigga sucks. Because I'd go between all these different camps, all these different clans, all these different camps, all these different crews, all these different cliques, right? Love everywhere I went, okay? So, I was in the North End EBT. This is full disclosure, man. This is black ops shit, fucking declassified on the street level. And I met this cat. His name was David. And his crew, they're Northside Bloods. They're NSBs. I didn't know at the time that we had a mutual homeboy. Kind of like Bone Thugs and Harmony had a beef with cats. You know what I'm saying? Crucial Conflict. Twista used to roll with Crucial Conflict and had a beef with Bone Thugs. They're cool now. You feel me? Shout outs to Crucial Conflict. Shout outs to Bone. Shout outs to Twista. When I was in Chicago, when I lived in Chicago, man, my brother, you know, who stay out there and shit, he put me in contact with one of the Twista's producers and shit, and I talked to him on the phone. The point is, man, when I was in the Seattle area, but it wasn't Seattle, but I'd been in and out of Seattle. Full disclosure, man, I had some beef with some niggas from NSB, Northside Bloods, and it was very disheartening. You know why, man? Because they're Bloods. Some of them. They got the Fofo block and the 8-5 block, you know what I'm saying? And I like their music, and I like it to this day. I'm just keeping it real. And this is a confession, man. This is full disclosure. I'm letting y'all know, man. This is not even bullshit. I'm just saying how. Shout outs to Baby Blue. Shout outs to everybody, man. Little Noopy in them. You know what I'm saying? And so shout outs to Darkset and Wine Time Productions, man, in the Central District of Seattle. You know, shout outs to Steve Wesley and Brother Frost Chill, aka you know what I'm saying? All them cats, Shandog and all them. You heard what I said. Shout outs to Isaac Grayson. Them niggas were down with the crew. You know what I'm saying? The point is, I had a little beef for a minute, man, for a little hot second with the crew from NSB, Northside Bloods. I never understood it, man, because we had mutuals. There was a homie where we'd both been on lock. We got out and we went to this community college. We could have gone to universities. We were trying to save money because we're from the streets. Some of the homies and I, we had agreed that we were going to like go to college and get out, you know what I'm saying, to the game and shit. And one of the homies, Mr. Brock Lee Landers, he'd already been at one of the colleges. And so he inspired me to go back to school because we were all, before the whole gang drug war, man, we were all like going to school, doing right things and shit. We'd been at like alternative schools and stuff like this. But at some point, it was like, yo, man, what are we finna do? And one of the homies already had the foresight, and he was already back in school. I was like, yo, dog, you taking classes? He's like, yeah. So he was in a high class part of town. Now, I've told y'all that I come from you know what I'm saying, a middle class family. And then my mother, she wanted to, like, you know what I'm saying, do for her own. And she didn't want to ask my grandparents, that is her mother and father, who had been in World War II, didn't want to ask them for any money. My dad was never really around at the time. So, you know what I'm saying, we lived in the PJs, the projects, low-income housing. So, we lived in the projects for a little while, for like the first 8 years of my life. Shit. I got the photos to prove it. I used to talk to my dad on the phone, you know, here and there. She got her degree. We moved out of the hood. So we moved to the burbs. I had some relatives who were well off. My uncle took me in. Y'all know that story if you've been following. So what happened was, one of the homies, he had already moved out to like this exclusive, like, upscale neighborhood that was fucking dope. It's not dope compared to East Coast shit, but I'm just gonna say, no disrespect, and I'm not, no disrespect, but in the context of the Northwest, it's where Jay Parks lived. You know what I'm saying? It's where the Korean American rap artist Jay Parks lived. I'm not gonna go into details or anything, but if y'all follow Jay Park, I used to live there, man. And I'm just gonna say, I used to live in Edmonds, man. I used to live in Edmonds, Washington. Shit was dope. Down the street, there was another college. It's called Shoreline. This is full disclosure, man. I'm just telling how it is. So anyway, I'd been on lock, set up by the police. I was set up. It's real. It's true. I was set up by the police. They were like, oh, this nigga, he doing too much, man. He's way popular and shit. So they set me up when I was young. That story's pretty normal. Nothing aberrant or abnormal or like unusual. So I got set up by the police. They wanted me to fucking go away for a little while. Back when I was fucking young. You know what I'm saying? And so they set me up like they did a lot of people at the time. And I was like, wow. So I fought it, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't have a lot of money at the time. And went through the motions, you know, with the pills and shit like that. And they really hated the nigga. They really fucking did. And so there was this rivalry between these different locations. And so I went to one school where, when I had been at this one school, you know what I'm saying, when I had gotten out of fucking lockdown, one of the homies had already gotten out of lockdown in advance of me having gotten out of lockdown, and he was working with the school. So when I went to get my financial aid and shit, he was already there, and he's like, yo, man, I mean, we're not breaking the law. Like, I'm just saying, I can fast track you. I can get you in. So he got me in, okay? Other homies followed, like there were other cats and other people that hadn't been on lock, but like that was where like niggas from the North End who were part of the North End, we'd linked up. That was kind of like the cutoff point. Then like a few blocks down the street, there was this other school where like over 50% of the student population, it even said in the school handbook that the other 51% of the student population was from Japan. That's how close we were to Japan, okay, in the Pacific Northwest. So, my roommate at the time was DJ Lee, DJ Lethal. And I grew up like admiring his crew and his peeps, you know what I'm saying? His fam, his folks and shit like that. And I used to go to the concerts and stuff. And it was like a dream come true. We had a Japanese DJ in addition to DJ Lee, DJ Lethal from Seattle. And we would have like DJ spin-off nights like in our 4-man dorms and shit. And there was a problem with like the Russian mafia being involved with like the president of our school and stuff like that. So there were a lot of like issues and shit. But nonetheless, we lived in this upscale community. So long story short, coming from the fucking Jacks, that is the projects, living in this neighborhood, this community along the coast, which a lot of people have never been able to experience, man. And I feel privileged and honored. And I'm also sad that some people have never been able to have this experience that I had. It was lovely, dude. It was beautiful, dude. Where I lived, man, back in the context of the West Coast at that time, was some premier shit, dude. It was just fucking unbelievable. You had Russian chicks on one side, you had French dudes on one side, you had Brazilian chicks and German chicks and Chinese and Japanese and fucking you name it, like every country that you can fucking think of. Dude, the shit was it was a community college, but it was like a university, dude. So anyway, I got into promoting club nights, right? And I became very successful at what I was doing. So, one of the homies at the time, he got mad at me, man. He was angry with me for a while. He was angry at me for a minute. That's not what I meant to say. I'll get to that. But at the time, we were fucking cool. We were 100% fucking cool. So I was living in the dorms. I actually worked security, man. I was part of the Residential Student Life Association, which is the nationwide organization, RSLA. And I was looking out for like underclassmen who were like 18, who were, new to like college and shit, right? So I had like 6 fucking club nights that were set up in the Northwest. Bluegrass, like folk music, rock music, thrash metal, death metal, rock, hip hop, rap, like you name it. I had like 6 clubs that I would go to, and each one of the clubs would pay me and my crew and I for what we fucking did, which back then was an accomplishment. And then the homie Arlo, he hooked me up with like this woman that had access to like the Seattle Space Needle, you know what I'm saying? Like the Seattle Center is what it used to be called. And we did this big outdoor event, and I was doing major shit, dude. I brought people down from Canada, from like different countries and shit, right? So we established ourselves and had already been established. And at some point, the homie, at the time, he was my homie, he said he was part of DJ Lethal's crew. He said, Grove, we got this one place going on where they got the volleyball, like outdoor shit. They got the volleyball court outside with the sand and shit, like the white sand. Call up such and such, man, from NSB, them niggas from Full-Time Soldiers FTS, and ask them if they want to fucking be part of this like show that we're about to do. And I was like, I bet. Now, I was a fan of their music, dude. 100%. So I called up D-Sane. I called him up. And I was like, D-Sane, this is Grow. He's like, what's up? Now, D-Sane had come by. He'd come by my dorms. And it was dope. It was dope. It was dope. It was dope. It was lovely. Back then, it was all cassette tapes and shit. So, like, he came through with Full-Time Soldiers, FTS and shit. And I listened to their tracks. We played tracks. The other DJ who was supposed to be there at the time, he didn't show up because he had other priorities, which I understood. And D-Sane, I believe, he was like, oh, no, I get it. I understood, because that's what he said. He's like, no, it's cool. So we met in my dorm room, right? And I listened to their shit, and it was dope. It was always dope. So after they left and departed, we just kind of left it at that. Like, let's do some shit in the future, right? So, okay, so I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So that was before the homie asked me to reach out to them. So then later the homie asked me to reach out to them. It was like, yo, they came through that one time. So ask them if they want to do this shit. So I called D-Sane on the phone. And I was like, yo, D-Sane, y'all want to do this shit? He told me, man, he was like, yeah, we'll do that. So look, man. We put them on the glossy, which was the postcard, which was like the high gloss. Like back then, it's like if you did a show, if you had little posters and little flyers and shit, that was one thing. But if you had the high gloss, that was a different thing. It took money, man. We were all hustlers, all of us, man. And I always liked D-Sane. I always liked FTS, dude. I was a fan of Full-Time Soldiers. And I still am to this day, man. Birdie and them, Smoke, you know what I'm saying? All them cats, street level records. I'm just being real, dude. I'm just being honest. Some miscommunication shit happened, man. And at some point, D-Sane was like, yo, man, what the fuck? And I was like, what are you talking about, dog? And we're on the phone, and he's like, what's up with our name being on this shit? And I was like, what are you talking about, man? You said you want to fucking come and do this shit. I never said that. This and that, man. Whoop whoop. Your boy, you need to talk to your boy. You need to talk to your boy. And I was like, I did. And we asked you if you want. So something happened in miscommunication. There's a misunderstanding, man, or some shit. But anyway, he claimed at the time, man, that he had never said that he wanted to do the show. Okay? No check game. They came out anyway, and we did the show. We did, with all the different acts and all the different crews and all the different peoples and all the different folks and all the different Bloods and all the different Crips and all the different sets and all the different whatever, right? But it became some bitter shit, dude, where it was fucking stupid, dude. D-Sane disliked me. I ended up disliking him, dude. And it was bad, dude, because I didn't really like it, man. I was just like, this is fucked up, man. Like, what are you talking, man? I was trying to promote these dudes. Like, I was trying to help them out. They came, I saw D-Sane. He came in. Like, he was man enough to come in, and he was like, man, what's up? And I was like, man, I thought y'all wanted it. He's like, man, we never said this. And I was like, man, but I thought this shit. And he's like, no, we never said that. And I was like, all right, man, I thought y'all wanted to fucking do the show, man. My fault. And then, like, the police department locally, man, they stopped his crew. Had him out on the block, lined up. Every time we see these motherfuckers, they always got guns. And I was like, well, we got guns too. Like, I'm armed up right now. I'm not going to tell you where the guns are stashed, but we're always, like, pieced up too. This is the Pacific Northwest, man. You know what I'm saying? There are more militia groups per capita than anywhere else in the world. More militia, more fucking this, more gang. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, so what? Like they came here to do a concert. Like, I was rooting for them. Like, even though they got lined up on the curb, like, I was out there talking to D-Sane, and he had a cell phone and shit, and I was like, man, I'm really sorry, dog. He's like, man, you tripping, like, you know, and I was like, but listen, man, I'm sorry, dog, but, like, man, what's up, man? Do y'all want to do the show? Because I genuinely wanted them to do the fucking show because I was a fan of FTS, right? So we went back and forth after that, dude, for fucking years, man. We were on the internet bashing each other. But I never really truly disliked them, dude. I never really did. Because they were dope, dude. Full-Time Soldiers is the shit. Birdie, R.I.P., was the shit, dude. One of the tightest rappers, not just in the Pacific Northwest, man. And I get goosebumps when I say this, but he was one of the fucking dopest rappers ever, dude. And I wouldn't say slept on because people knew about him, but at the time, dude, I mean, like, in the context of the Pacific Northwest, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was FTS and then there was, like, Birdie. And I'm just saying, like, at the time, and listen, I'm being very sensitive about this, dude. Like, I liked everything they did, man. And I wanted to fucking, like, help them, like, in my own special way, like, promote them when I could. But there was a big misunderstanding. So, like, there was a big falling out, man. So then one night, flash forward, like, 10 years. D-Sane and I were on the internet. We were on YouTube. And we were like, fuck you, 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 saying all kinds of shit that was back and forth, you know, like the most heinous shit, like, fuck you, fag, 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 fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fag, 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 fag. And then I was just, you know, something, I don't know what it was, but we got to talking about, like, and he was like, we're talking about, like, people who served America. And I was like, my grandfather did this. And I was like, yeah, my grandfather did too. My grandfather fucking fought Nazis, dude, fascists in the world. And he's like, well, my relative, this, and that. And I was like, you know what, man? I've always respected you, dude. I never wanted to have beef with you, dude. I'm just going to leave it like this, dude. I ain't got no problems with you, dude. I never really fucking did. Like, no bullshit, dude. Like, I'm not even going to back down, and I know you're not going to back down, and I don't even have a problem with you, dude. Like, I never fucking disliked you, dude, honestly, dude. D-Sane, listen, I'm saying this to the world. D-Sane is one of the most talented fucking dudes, man, in the Pacific Northwest. He's one of the top fucking producers of all time. He just told me, he's like, bro, whenever you get somebody, because, dude, I was in college at the time. When I first met him, he's like, whenever you got some real money, man, fuck with me, man. This is what he told me. Those were his words, whether he admits it to this day or not. He's like, man, he got some fucking real money, and I didn't even know what he was talking about at the time because we didn't even really know each other that closely, but we had a mutual associate, okay? So the thing is, he was like, look, if you're really serious and you really want to do some shit in the future, fucking hit me up. That's real shit. I tell you that, man, on my honor as a man in this world. Whether he wants to fucking admit to that shit to this day or not. I was like, all right. And then flash forward, there was a whole thing where bickering back and forth, this and that. And I was like, look, dude, I'm just saying to you, man, I never really honestly, truly had a problem with you, dude. And I used to do a lot of underground shit, just experimental. So I'd just be saying some shit drunk like I am now. But I was like rapping, you know, oh man, you tripping, like, you know, this and man, EVT ever, man, you still a blood, and this and that. And then I was like, well, what's up? And he's like, you know, man, I was never really blood, but man, I'm from Las Vegas and this and that. And that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to go any farther than that. I'm not going to go any farther than that. That's real shit. That's not even fucking false memory. That's just like, you know what I'm saying? But keep in mind, I always respected him, dude, the whole time. I never really honestly disliked D-Sane, man. David Severance. I never did. I always actually fucking respected him, dude, very highly for his fucking talent. And I'm sure he's going to hear this, dude. And I always told him that, dude. And I was always fucking like, dude, FTS is the shit, dude. But like, bro, just calm down. Like, man, just chill, bro. Like, just cool your jets, bro. And there was beef, dude, because, man, like, they said they were North End, which they were because they were Shoreline. You know what I'm saying? But we were also North End, but like more north. And they were North End too, but they were like more north going into Seattle. And I give it to him, dude. He runs Seattle on his level, man. I give it to him. Street level productions. So look, man. For many years after that, dude, shit was just silent and shit. And there was another cat, man, who I used to promote for, you know what I'm saying? Gene and shit. And Gene came through with the limos and shit like that. But then there was this nigga in our mix that got fucking faulty, and he was like reporting faulty shit back to Gene. So even though I was working for Gene and my camp was doing shit, taking pictures and doing all this stuff with all these major labels and shit, like Gene got a report that we weren't doing our job. And then Gene started fucking tripping like, man, I got word. And I was like, yo, hold up, man. This man, I don't understand what it is with these cock blockers and these hater motherfuckers. Like, we did exactly what you told us to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was at Gene's house when he was talking to fucking P. Diddy on the phone, dude. Okay? I also like Gene, man. Shout outs to Gene Dexter, man. I'm just being real, dude. Okay? Gene came through when I was doing some concerts in North EVT. You know what I'm saying? I had the open bar and shit, man. I hooked him up. You know what I'm saying? He came through on his end with the limo like he said he was going to do. But niggas is just haters, dog. They just try to drop salt and shit. The point is this, dude. Years went by. It was silent, man. Nobody said anything. And I just went online, man. I went on the internet and I just started to just be real, man. Like I had been the whole time, but even more fucking vocal. And I was like, yo, you know what, man? I never had any real, true, honest to God problem with fucking FTS full-time soldiers. Never really ever, truly, honestly fucking did. It was all some superficial bullshit, dude. Like I never really, truly hated fucking Dave Severance, dude, the third. I never hated motherfucking FTS, dude. They got some of the rawest, tightest, fucking dopest, filthiest, fucking top-notch shit ever, and they did fucking fantastic, fabulous for the Pacific Northwest. By the way, man, yo, FTS and Dave, man, if you listening to this, man, come on, man, my bad, bro. Like, I never meant any bad shit, dude, ever, bro. Like, for real. Like, come on, man, listen to what Grover is saying. Anyway, whatever they feel to this day, you know what I'm saying? I heard the group disbanded, whether that's true or not, or they regrouped or whatever. I'm just keeping it real, man. I'm being a fucking real dude, and I've always been a real dude. Full-time soldiers, everything they ever put out, man, some of the best shit ever in the Pacific Northwest, dude. I listen to their tracks all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? Soggy 1, 2, you know what I'm saying? 8-5 Dip In. Evil Back Streets. I mean, dude, come on, man. That's some, come on. Man, I lived in Edmonds, Washington, dude. I lived in fucking EVT Everett. Man, I lived on the border between fucking Edmonds and Shoreline. I used to dip into Seattle all the time, the 206. I got homies from the 206. I used to record in the Central District with Bloods niggas. I used to record in the neighborhoods with Bloods and folks. I got niggas on my fucking team that are from all kinds of sets and shit. Okay? Shout outs to Avatar Darko. Okay? Shout outs to Avatar Darko. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, man, Dave, man, you know what I'm saying? He put me on to Avatar. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that was talking about his little homie and shit. And I listened to his shit and I didn't dislike it. You know what I'm saying? I liked it. I liked what they were doing, man. And I'm just saying, dude, I'm just being fucking so real, dude. Like FTS, full-time soldiers, man. I'm saying it on the level of being as diplomatic as I can humanly possibly conceivably be. Look, man, I'm not saying I'm trying to be the better man. I'm saying there was a miscommunication. And I already made it known, like stated on internet, like a long ass fucking time ago, that I never really truly had a fucking dislike for these guys and that I actually respected them and held them in the highest regard. And I've already blogged that shit and I got hella thumbs up, dude, on YouTube. Okay? So the point is, dude, is FTS, full-time soldiers, one of the fucking raddest, one of the hardest, one of the tightest, one of the dopest rap groups ever in the history of Washington State and the Pacific Northwest. And I mean that shit. Listen to my fucking voice. Birdie, R.I.P., man. May he rest in peace. Dude, Lyricide, everything he ever did, everything FTS ever did, everything Street Level Productions ever did, I'm a fucking fan, dude. And if I were not a fucking fan, you heard how I fucking bashed the Uber company. You heard how I bashed foreign fucking leaders and dignitaries and government officials. I just say it straight up. I don't even hold back, dude. No holds barred. I don't even fucking withhold the shit. I'm like, fuck these jakes. I'm not saying that here, dude. Because, dude, man, it's my podcast. I could be, if I didn't like full-time soldiers, FTS, I'd be like, you know what? These dudes were assholes, and, you know, blah, fuck them, even to this day. No, I'm not saying that at all, dude, and I never fucking said that shit, ever in fucking space-time, okay? I'm saying to you, dude, go back, listen to everything FTS ever did, full-time soldiers. Go back and listen to everything that David Severance III ever fucking recorded, ever produced, ever put out. Go back and listen to everything Street Level Productions ever did. I'm a fan. I like everything they've ever done. And I mean that genuinely and sincerely. I like every one of their underground tracks, all their singles, all their LPs, all their fucking EPs, everything, dude. It's dope, and it's dope, and it's dope, and it always was. Dude, beef is stupid, dude. It really fucking truly is. Look at Tupac and Biggie, man. Man, imagine if Tupac and Biggie did a fucking song together. You understand what I'm saying? I just wanted to work with them dudes a long time ago, and that's why the homie, man, the mutual was like, yo, man, do they want to do a show? And I called up, you know, fucking FTS, and I was like, and I thought they said, yeah. I swear to God on my life, on my honor as a man in this universe, I thought he was like, yeah, go ahead and put us down. And I was like, okay. And then they like showed up and they're like, man, why'd you know, what the fuck is up? And I was like, what you mean? You know what I'm saying? We had two mutuals, man. So anyway, the point is, man, I've already made my statements. I've already made my remarks. I've already said what I was going to say. I'm not here to be sycophantic. I'm not here to be a dick rider. I'm not here to be, you know what I'm saying? And listen, man, when they were selling albums, dude, back in the day, I'm sure they sold more albums than we did. Like, I'm giving Dave, if you're listening to this, dude, I'm sure you sold more albums than we did back in the day, dude. Okay? I mean, I'm just being honest, dude. Like, I give it to y'all. Okay? I don't even have to say that. I don't even have to fucking say that. I'm saying it, dude. I'm sorry, dog. For real. Like on some like 50 Cent beef with like The Game, Jayceon Taylor shit, some Curtis Jackson and 50 Cent The Game shit, dog. Like, I've always been a fan of your shit, dude. I mean, I'd love to do something with you in the future, bro. Like, I'm keeping it fucking real 100%. And I understand they'd probably be like, man, fuck Grove, he tripping, you know, this nigga drunk, this and that. I'm just being real, bro. Like, I love to do some shit with, man, FTS, full-time soldiers, whether they exist today or not, or just Dave himself, man, because Dave's one of the top producers in the Pacific Northwest, man. And everybody that he fucks with, man, is for real. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the Pacific Northwest, man, if you're not somewhere else in the world, man, check out FTS Full-Time Soldiers, man. Check out Street Level Records, Street Level Productions. Check it out, man, because that shit is fucking bona fide, certified West Coast, man. And I looked up to them dudes when I was in college, when I was a young dude, man, with 495 Deep in Everett, man. And to this day, I still respect that shit. I'm your boy, OSG, Once or Grove, 1.